Thanks everybody for getting on to the latest VOLTTRON Office Hours. Today there's no set agenda, so just open topic. One announcement is that the VOLTTRON users meeting, as we talked about last time, it was originally scheduled for next week, but that's in the middle of ASHRAE. And so we're going to be moving that out. We're looking at August 4th just to completely avoid July 4th and other July type vacations. Would August 4th work for the folks on the call?
Well, I'll be on vacation, but don't let that stop you.
Okay. I was hoping that would get past the majority of vacations and things. All right, well, let's go ahead and open it up. I guess first off, anything from the development team, Craig, Robert, Shweta, anything that you want to bring up at to start things off?
The message bus thing is this afternoon. It's probably going to be a short meeting, but I thought we would talk about configuration and how I've thought about configuring the modular and the message buses in the refactoring state. And so that's one of the things that we're going to talk about this afternoon.
Okay. Great. At the working group?
Yep.
Okay. See, Shweta, do you want to bring anything up, code drop update or anything?
I'm going to bring up the user meeting. Looks like you did.
Yep.
Decided that it's August 4th. Just that we're planning to have 9.org release sometime next month, and also the next code drop end of the month, end of July, before the user meeting. Dates haven't been finalized yet.
Okay. And let's see, did Beth send out the announcement for the office hour or the user meeting yet?
Probably not.
Okay, then I will ping her. Okay. All right. Then any topics from anybody else then? James?
Yeah, I've been basically I've been trying to get the Docker version of VOLTTRON running. At first I tried VOLTTRON 10 and there's some problem. It looks like the router class for the VIP router wasn't actually ported to the new service interface framework. And I filed a bug report on that.
Yep, I got all your bugs, and you're right, it hasn't yet because of the whole message bus refactor. That's one of the reasons I haven't been ported.
That's what I figured.
So, yeah.
So I switched to VOLTTRON 8 because we have a couple upcoming customers that we're talking to, and we need to get something running. And then I found VOLTTRON 8. There's some problems with that too. Like, I don't know, maybe it's me, but there doesn't seem the Docker compose file specifies a v3 VOLTTRON image, and there's no v3 image in the Docker repo for that. So I tried the latest, and I can get that to work okay. But there's a problem if you don't have, like, for example, there's a comment in the platform config.yaml file that says that you have to have the platform driver loaded in order to have the platform agent, to load the platform agent. The problem is that in order to load the platform driver, you also have to load some drivers. and I want a container that has no drivers in it, just has a historian and the website, VOLTTRON website. So I tried to remove, I mean, basically I commented out the drivers, the fake driver, which, you know, spews out a lot of sort of text, and I don't want that spewing. I just want, you know, I just want to have a historian, and it got a problem in the setup platform.py file. Basically, it was looking for, in that YAML production, it was looking for some drivers, and of course there weren't any, and it didn't check for none. And so anyway, I fixed that and filed a bug report on it. And so now I sort of got something working, but this is kind of a little bit discouraging to find that the Docker release isn't, you know, quite there, especially for VOLTTRON 8, which I figured probably be rock solid and ready to go. So anyway, that's been, just you know, so I am able to make progress now, but it's been a bit of a struggle. So thanks.
Yeah, we try our best to test all scenarios. Sometimes some scenarios are left out. So if you do find those, please raise a bug report and we'll fix them.
Yeah, that's what I did. I felt
James, did you said that you had fixed the issue. Do you feel comfortable submitting a pull request for the issue that you fixed with the platform driver not checking for none? I think that's what you
if
said.
you want, I can submit a pull request, but
That would be totally awesome. If you
yeah,
would do
I mean, what I did was I just put I put the code into that I fixed into as a second message onto the bug report.
okay.
So if you want, you can just pull it out of there.
Either that, or I'd like you to get credit for it. So it would be awesome if you could make the pull request. That would be
Okay, I'll see.
absolutely
but I mean,
fabulous.
I don't really have to get credit for it. That's fine. If you just want to pull the code out of there and do it, but I'll try to get around to doing a pull request. So
Okay,
all right,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, right.
Also, you said that it was looking for a version 3 tag.
That's right. If you look at the Docker Compose files, it's looking for v3, and
this is for 8, or this is for
this is for 8. Yeah, this is for
okay.
8.
All right, not 10.
The V10,
right.
The VOLTTRON 10 is the Docker image is fine. It's actually good, but it's a V8 one that has the problem. So
I'm wondering. So there is I wonder if this V3 that's here. Yeah, this is.
You see it?
This V3.0. Let me share my screen so I can, or let me share my my thing here so we can look at it maybe. Because I think I might have found what maybe, and this I'm not. It's been a while since I've looked at the Docker stuff myself, but there's this 3.0
Yeah.
that was submitted 3 years ago or 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's quite a while ago. The other one, the latest one out there was submitted a year ago, actually. It's 15 months or something.
I don't understand. Yeah,
that's the one I'm using latest. Yeah.
this one up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
The others are not visible in the public repo. It's just the latest that's visible.
No, this is all visible. You
This
just
is
go to
public?
tags.
Okay.
Yeah, this is public.
I
You
couldn't.
go. Yeah, you go from this page because I'm not signed in at all here.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Wait a second. Maybe I'm.
So you click on tags and then you can and then it goes back. Apparently it only goes back to you or whatever, but So there is a tag out here, and what's interesting is that this V10 is modular. Everything else is, or V10 minimal,
Yeah,
I guess, is what's the latest, but or
Right.
is the modular, but everything, all the others are not. And
Yeah.
that's kind of not a good thing to have this duality going on.
yeah, it's they're
That's
two
what we
different
have
things.
right now.
You know.
Yeah, that is kind of confusing. I agree.
Let's see, I have to find this.
But yeah, but like you said, if latest here works, that's weird. Yeah, because this says the RFP stuff, which wouldn't be in
So if,
in the
so
modular.
if I search for Eclipse VOLTTRON / VOLTTRON, I get one tag which is updated 5 months ago and its latest. I don't get any others. That's all I get. I don't know why. So I mean, but this is, I mean, I can do a screenshot and put it into the chat. See here. I don't know.
Anyways,
See here.
Eclipse Voltron is
This is what I get when I go to Eclipse VOLTTRON / VOLTTRON. That's all I get. I don't get any other tags. Just as one.
let me see what we're gonna figure out how to get back to my Zoom. So Eclipse Voltron, that is really weird.
I don't understand. I mean, that's why it didn't show up when I tried to pull it. And it didn't.
So this is what you're seeing right here.
Yeah, the thing I posted in the chat, right?
Yeah, but those two pages are the exact same, right?
But there's nothing on, there's no volts, there's no 3 or 10 or anything like that on it.
No, I understand that. But if you click on this, it will take you to this page. Like click on the Eclipse Voltron.
Yeah, I did click on it. Oh, I see. Okay, all right.
And then you click tags.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I was trying to figure out.
Yeah,
I
okay.
was
Yeah,
just
there
trying
it
to
is.
get. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I got it.
All right. Okay, we're good.
So
Now you have all of the stuff. But yeah.
then I understand why I couldn't pull B 3.0. It wouldn't let me pull it when I tried to pull it using the Docker Compose.
That I don't know.
Anyway, that one's pretty old, so I think probably it wasn't such a good idea to do it anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Sorry.
Well, now that at least we solved that part.
Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. Thank you very much, Craig.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. Yeah, thanks, James. See any other? Oh, Ben, I see you've got your hand up.
Yeah, I got one question. Trying to upgrade we're actually running VOLTTRON 10 on Ubuntu 22. Do you guys mind if I share my screen for a second?
Go for it.
Okay, so I got a lot of help from Cafe, so thank you for that. And then we ended up updating from VOLTTRON or Ubuntu 20 LTS to 22 in Python 3.10. So I'm able to get like back up and running, and I'm trying to start everything, including like setting up the BACnet platform driver and like pip installing everything. whatever reason, like the actuator agent isn't starting. I'm trying to restart it. It seems like it to me it almost looks like it's like crashing everything. Like that it'll come down here and it says like Voltron isn't even running, basically. So if I just jump over to the logs, this is kind of what I'm seeing. I haven't really diagnosed it too much. Curious if this makes sense to anyone else.
So we actually have if you see something that says a VIP loop ended prematurely, yep, right
Uh,
there. Okay. So there is actually an issue out there. It's number 174. And this is something that Kefi posted a couple weeks ago. And you are the first person other than Kefi to bring this up. And he was testing it in Bop test. So this, I believe, was it's Kefi on. I don't remember. It's
Yeah.
Kefi on. Yeah. So Kefi, you did a VCT. You have the how to produce it here, and it's when you install the agent and then force start it a couple times. That's what um, that's what created this issue, and so this is a wider spread issue than we had originally thought. So this will get elevated, but I believe this is the same issue.
okay. Yeah, I'm still trying to get used to modular Voltron,
Mhm.
but if I just want to try and restart everything, just try this, right? It's like I just started all the agents all at once, and then I just happened to notice it was the actuator agent that um appeared to be not running. Okay, should I just wait for the updates to try this again, or is there worth troubleshooting anything at all?
So what I believe is happening is there's I think the problem is with the actuator agent itself, because there was that um, has a build flaw right now, or at least that's what it was a while ago. Um, Dave was looking into why the tests are failing for that specific thing, and I'm betting that is the culprit. What would be interesting is if you ignored the actuator and did the platform driver, and then just used the platform driver without the skip without the actuator, and see if that works for you rather than using the actuator.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Maybe able to too. This Voltron log. If I see my like the backnet scrapes, it means the platform driver is working.
I didn't even see a platform driver installed. Did you
Oh,
have a
what's
platform
on there?
driver installed?
Oh, you're right.
Okay.
I had it up and running earlier. Here, just give me 1 second. I can install it. Let's see. If I do Okay, so this should have all of my should have also backnet briefing too. Yeah, so it looks like all my backend stuff is in there.
Okay.
Let's see if there's a grape here. Like if I'm using getting the OpenADR signal into the message bus, I have to use the actuator agent, right, to write to the backnet system.
Why?
Is there another way to make backnet writes without the actuator agent?
Yeah, you can utilize the platform driver. You can make a call directly to the platform driver to set the set points.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. The preferred method is to use the actuator agent, but if it's in a state that's not acceptable right now, then you use the platform driver directly, because that's what it does. It will schedule the point so nobody else can write to it while you're writing to it.
Okay.
Although I haven't seen any of your backnet stuff come
Yeah.
out. I don't know if
Me neither.
that's indicative of this or not, but there's the proxy. We're just printing out heartbeats is what it looks like.
All right.
I don't know how
It was working. Like I was seeing backnet data before I updated to Ubuntu 22, which I think was like the version
did
0.
did you start this in rotating?
No, no.
Because all I'm seeing is, oh, I guess I am seeing people. Okay. I was just wondering because we have the listener agent seems to be in info. So it's publishing at info level.
Let's see. So I used this to start VOLTTRON.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, well, maybe I'll have to troubleshoot just so that the platform driver is set up correctly. Anyways, I think that's all I have at the moment.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
so like Craig was saying, actuator is the preferred one, but really, if, you know, actuator's original purpose was if you're gonna have multiple agents sending control signals at the same time and you wanted to make sure they didn't stomp on each other. But if that's not the case in your deployment, then you can skip it, and there's a call directly on the driver that,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Dave, do you have that offhand?
I don't think Dave is on.
Is he not on? Okay.
Yeah.
Then never mind. Don't answer, Dave.
Here, I'll,
Give me like one tip, like so if I want to just like view my platform driver devices, let's see, so I can lift it.
Yeah, the devices are the slipstream ones up there. You can either grapple on I think you want get, right? You want to see it? Yeah,
Yeah, that was that'd be here, right?
yeah, instead of store. Right.
I could just like do one of these.
Well, those aren't the drivers. Those are the points.
Oops.
The drivers are up at the top. Yeah. But get rid of the word store in your command. And then you're going to want to pass dash raw. Actually, it doesn't matter for this. Go ahead and hit enter.
Okay, sounds good. So like if this is all set up,
That should scrape once a minute.
then it's then I should be troubleshooting like this is device even online.
Yeah.
Like here down to the backend level stuff.
Yeah, whatever 11:9 does.
And then if I just want to print this CSV file,
Yeah, pass dash, do the same thing and pass dash raw.
raw.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yep. So if you just do it without the raw, it'll make it a JSON. It'll output JSON
Mhm.
regardless of what it is, right? So the dash raw says output it as it was input, basically.
Great. Okay, thanks. I'll mess around with this and see if I can get it printing again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, let us know.
All right, let's see a couple other hands up. Joe?
Hey, thanks. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Great, thank you. So I finally have the ability to start working with this again, and I think I talked with you a couple weeks ago, about kind of the beginning processes here. But I'm kind of charting into maybe unsupported territory because I'm being forced to use SUSE Linux Enterprise Server instead of one of the Linux distros that y'all recommend. But I have some questions related to that I'm hoping might be pretty quick to run through. So one of the first things, so first I have a question about just the Python versions that are supported. I tried Python 3.11 at first and ran into some issues on install. Is that a known thing?
It's not necessarily known, but we have Dave's running actually he may be running Ubuntu now. I don't remember. I have run the core platform with 11, but I don't believe that I have done any other debugging with 11.
Okay. Yeah, and I guess
I have
part of
only
my
tested modular with 3.11, and
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
for that we need to update the Gevent versions.
okay.
So, but I don't know if I have tested monolithic with 3.11.
Yes, and I'm on monolithic. I should have said that. I'm on version 8.
Okay, then yeah, you want to use 3.8 for the monolithic.
Which one? Sorry.
3.8.
Okay, so I wasn't sure which one to use. I tried a few different ones until I found one that worked. I ended up with 3.9.17. Do you think that's okay? It's installed and it's running now, but I
Well,
don't know if
then it's obviously good, right?
Okay. Well, part of
it's
my
good to
question
know
is
because
here.
we haven't run it at all on Susie. So
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, but a lot of my questions here are just around knowing I'm using an unsupported distro and some of the issues I had with getting the dependencies installed. I don't know if like
that would
that's
be
my
great if
problem.
you would post your findings someplace that we could look at and
Sure.
maybe adopt into the documentation or whatnot later.
Yeah. So essentially, what I've done is I've followed like the read the docs.voltron.com or whatever .org instructions, and I've just found I've been able to run everything. I have to use Zipper package manager instead of you know, whatever other ones, apt or
Instead of
whatever
apt.
recommended there. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's interesting. I've never heard of Zipper.
Yeah, it's what's like it's what's with SUSE. I've never used SUSE
Yeah.
before, but it's what our company uses.
Fair enough.
But so some of the package names are a little different. So that was the main thing. The
Mhm.
one I can't get installed that's mentioned on the read the docs page is free TDS, and it's mentioned in a section where it says if you plan to use ODBC, then you need to install a couple packages. There was like Unix ODBC, maybe one more, and then free TDS. That one, for whatever reason, I think I'm not connected to the repository that has that. I
What
couldn't get
are
that
you
one.
using ODBC for? What
So
database?
and maybe I don't even need it. So let me explain that. So the goal is I'm going to have Voltron as a controller and data acquisition for a pretty simple, just like battery and inverter that are working together. And
Okay.
I want to use the SQL historian to write to a Postgres database elsewhere, like on another machine. Do I need ODBC for that?
No, you should use Psycho 2 or Psycho 3, one of those adapters should work for you.
Okay, so like I said, everything seems to be installed right. Free TDS didn't install, but I haven't run into any errors so far. So when I recall using SQL Historian in the past, I basically just put in like the IP address of the server, the port where Postgres is sitting,
Yep.
and the credentials. Do you think I'll need to do anything more, or do you think it should just work like it did in the past?
It should
Assuming
just,
that
assuming the credentials are up to snuff. I mean, you have enough, like if you, the schema needs to be able to write the schema if it's not created already, right?
Mhm.
And other than that, that should just work.
Okay, that's good. I mean, I've done this in the past, but I did it.
Where did you end up with the free TDS and stuff? Because ODBC is not even anywhere in VOLTTRON.
So hold on, let me try to find the page that I was referencing.
Yeah, that was my first question. From where did you find this? I think you have to make that section obsolete.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
If that's in, because the only thing I can think of is back in the, yeah, because ODBC, that would be talking, the only reason I would ever use ODBC if I was building something against SQL Server or something. Not MySQL or Python.
Oh.
No kidding. All right. Oh, Red Hat. This might be a yum thing. All right. So Chandrika, this perhaps is.
Yeah, that was, I mean, we haven't tested it on Red Hat based stuff in a long time. And even then, this is saying on Debian systems use free TDS. So I don't see any reason why we use that anymore. I mean, yeah, I am coming up blank on this. It's been a long time since we used this.
But
Yeah.
it's right there, isn't it?
Yeah,
On the
I understand. But
platform
it's like,
install page, for crying out loud. And it's 3.6, so this is, this is old.
yeah, this was 3.6 long ago. I won't be surprised if it was like something for related to JDK, something that came with it, some development packages that we were using long ago. I don't know. On CentOS, without which something else would it's possible because of the dependency chain on
Yeah.
CentOS broke without that. But we
Okay.
haven't tested in CentOS in I don't know how many
I
years.
don't think you will need this.
Okay,
Susie
that's
is
good.
Susie is at least a little bit more up if you're using especially an enterprise Susie. I think it's more up to date than well, I actually have no idea. So never mind. I'm not gonna say that.
This is specifically saying you need it only if you use a PyODBC package, right? So I don't see any agent that uses a PyODBC package now. I don't think.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. So I'm covered. I just didn't. I was sort of conflating, I think, the Postgres database thing with the PyODBC thing. But
Yeah,
sounds like I'm good on
No,
that front.
yeah.
they both have
I was-
pieces.
Postgres use it.
Yeah, they do. What about this line? I was a little confused about this. I was able to like get it to do something with this, but I don't think it really is going to be effective. What I did, EPEL.
So what EPEL is that's like enterprise plus some of the old some of the Fedora packages that are managed by Red Hat. So when you subscribe to the enterprise licensing of Red Hat, you get their base system, which is secured and blah blah blah, right? And then it's they certify that this works correctly, etc. You can add this EPL library on top of that, which gives you access to more packages that are not quite as stable and archaic as the ones that come with the base system. So that's that's how they allow you to upgrade things using EPL.
Okay, so it's probably not going to break anything if
It's not
this
going to break
was not
anything.
okay.
Yeah,
That's good. Okay, well, makes me feel better. I was able to get everything else installed, and like I said, Voltron's running, and I just have it installed with like the listener, but the listener isn't running right now. I had one other question, and this might just be completely normal behavior. I just got worried because of how I guess
verbose it is. No, I made the change to the code in monolithic that gets rid of this behavior. But I haven't ported that out to the core yet.
Okay, so the fact that it's just got this does not look odd at all. This is normal stuff for a startup.
It's not at all odd right now, but it's crappy. Or
is there a way?
It's too much verbosity is what it is right now.
Right. So is there a way? I think right now I have it started with just 1-V. I can't remember what it was. 1-V. Yeah, I think this is how I had set it up. I want to be. I use the log file for, especially with the listener. You know, when I'm doing testing and debugging stuff. Is there a way? Am I just stuck having all this stuff coming in and I'm just have to parse it myself?
What do you mean?
Sorry. So this
You mean
is kind
like
of pouring
using grep and whatnot?
Is there a way to get those messages out of the log and still get stuff from listener?
He means,
Right.
can we switch to info?
Yeah.
Yes. So the way that you can so what you can do is you can get rid of the V altogether when you start it. So that starts it in that's it in null mode or whatever. And then you can set up the listener to post at warn level or error level. And then the listener will post everything at error. And you should be able to see just the listener output.
Okay.
So there's a configuration setting in the examples listener that tells you what it what it should post at,
Okay.
like what it should publish or what it should write out for that.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I'll look at that then. And so I think, yeah, right now I just started it, but yeah, there's nothing here because I didn't put -v, right? So you're saying I can go in and it's a configuration at the
So
the
if you go
listener
to
level.
examples,
Yeah.
we'll just do it right now. So it gets recorded. Examples, listener agent, and config. And then you can change that info to be warn or error.
Info to be worn. Like
All
that.
uppercase. All uppercase. Or warning, I guess is the way it should be. And then just to verify that, would you go into the listener and look at the agent real quick?
Sorry,
Inside the package, inside listener agent, inside the listener package.
inside. Oh, in here. Yeah.
Yeah. And look at agent quick. And scroll down. And down.
Looking for.
Yeah. Okay, so it does need to be warned. So this is what it does, right? So it basically specifies which log function that will be used based upon what's in the config file.
Okay, I see. So would the thing I'm most interested in, especially at first, is I'm gonna have like the platform driver doing like 10-second Modbus reads of the device, and I really liked how in past experiences it would just post that whole message to the log file. Will this still do this under the warn configuration?
Yeah. And
Okay.
it's been a while since I've done this. So if you save that, reinstall the listener agent with that config, it should work.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'll give
If it
that a shot.
doesn't-
And
If it doesn't, post a message to the dev mailing list. I'll respond.
okay. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks, y'all. I'll keep you up to date. How the SUSE or Susie, I've never heard it. Susie, I mean, I've not heard it that much. So took me a second to know what you're saying, but I'll let you know how that goes too. Seems to be going well now. I mean, it's running, so that's good.
Okay. Okay,
Thank you.
Stephen?
Hi. Yeah, I've got a couple questions that are probably basic, but first, I've got a question about making new drivers. And I know there was some extra drivers drivers working group meeting, but I didn't see how to sign up for that when I signed up for this. Is that still happening? And is there a separate registration link for that? Was I just imagining it?
No, it does happen. It happens every alternate Mondays. I'll ask Dave to send out an email to add you to that list. Could you drop in your email address here, please?
In chat? Sure.
Yeah. He's out of office this week, so we'll include you in the next one.
Okay. Well, my initial question, I think, is maybe pretty simple. So if for designing the driver, if there's a piece of hardware that you've got that like has multiple, I guess, things in it that you query to synthesize a data point. So if you have, like a low sensor and a high sensor, and you get both of them and then do some math on it to come up with, some sort of value, like a temperature value or a luminance value or what have you, is it better to just hide that math in the driver, or is it better to have the driver read the raw voltage sensors, post them, and then have something else consume them, do the math on them, and then repost the values that are the actual values?
That's
So you
correct.
care about?
The later approach. Craig, you were saying something?
Well, I was gonna say that it really depends upon your use case. If your driver can do the math and post it out, then you have that you have that in one location. Right. So whatever you are acting against, like whatever is utilizing that, the platform driver or historian or another agent, or wherever you're using it on the message bus, it really depends on your use case. Was my answer.
Okay.
And Shweta said the second one. The
Yeah,
second
so
one,
according to me, it's better if you have a clean separation. So drivers are typically, the role of drivers is typically to be an integration point between any application and the device, right? So you can write a driver that will allow you to interface with the device. So the driver will read the points from the device and also provide ability to write or control the points. And then you have an agent that is doing the math and using the driver to change set points and so on. That'll be a more appropriate approach or design.
Okay. Thanks. On a somewhat similar note, so I've got sample drivers and stuff, and they post to the devices topic, as you say they should, and that all seems to be working. But I was wondering about the sort of the difference between when you want to use the devices topic and when you want to use the data logger topic, because it seems like a lot of the stuff coming from the drivers, at least that I'm looking at, all seem well suited to your description of the data logger topic too, which it's time series data coming from something that's easily graphable. So do you ever have a case where you like repost from devices to data logger, or how do you, I guess, what's the point of how do you decide which to use?
so you ask deep questions. The data logger is, you're right, data logger and the platform driver output are very similar. The data logger, if I remember correctly, gives you, actually it's been a while since I've looked at data logger. The output from the platform driver is formatted it has the points in what's called an all message, right? And the all message has it's an array of 2 dictionaries. The first has the points and their values, and the second one has its metadata, and that gets posted across the message bus. The data logger, if I remember correctly, it is using agents can write to that, or agents other than the platform driver can write to that. The platform driver doesn't. And that's kind of the difference. It's a separation of what is truly device data and what is data generated other than the device. And we have a couple different ones. We have the device analysis. Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Analysis has the exact same structure of platform drivers output, except it's from a quote unquote analysis agent. And all of these get picked up by the historian itself. No, the historian only picks up the all messages. Oh no, I'm using myself.
Yeah, by default, for devices, it picks up only the all messages, the devices, and not.
Right.
Yeah, in your
But
given
it's
example,
only configured to add anything, right? It's only a config change. If you want
Yeah.
history to listen to something else, you can always add it. It's a configuration change.
Yeah, now it is because you can configure it to be whatever format you want, and whether it be record or whatever. Anyways,
so
I don't know if that answered your question.
Yeah, I guess the point was, if I have stuff that's going to want to be graphed, it seemed like the data logger format seemed like it was easier to graph from, because it seemed like it was I'm not sure if I got this right, but rather than the device logger, rather than having to go through all and then sort through that, it seemed like it was more directly, here's a point, and here's just all the values for the point, and you can just graph it rather than having to go sort through the contents of the message, like in devices.
Are we talking specifically real time, or from a query to the historian? Because those are
he's developing it as a driver, so you can. There's nothing in the driver, in the base driver, that says that you have to create a message in a specific format, right? You cannot put the message as a time series data and time series format and then just send it across to a message bus.
I guess I'm thinking of like a specific use case here. Just say you've got some sort of sensor, some driver that has a bunch of sensors in a space, and it has, I don't know, temperature and illuminance or whatever. And later on, you're going to want to have a display somewhere that shows a graph of those different values in the space, but maybe you don't care about all the values. Maybe you just want to see a graph of like the temperature or what have you. Is it better to, that driver will automatically log that temperature to devices / whatever. Is it sort of better to leave it in there and then have whatever is doing the graphing, consume it out of the historian, or I guess off the message bus or whatever, and get it from there? Or is it generally better to have something else repost those values to data logger and then have the UI whatever only get it out of the, just deal with data logger directly, and so it can only query for the points it needs out of there, rather than having to sort through the entire message pointing on devices?
From my perspective, because of the way we have the publish from devices going directly into our historian framework, querying from the historian framework, you only query for what points you really want. So you're only getting those points out of the database that you want. And that is the workflow that just works naturally. There's nothing that says you can't post your data from the driver to another location and do it that way either. But the way it is hooked up right now, that's a more heavy lift. You have to do more stuff in order to make it work, right? You have to be responsible for once you get your driver straight, then you'll transpose it into the data logger, versus just having the platform driver do the formatting of the messages and then have the platform historian or one of the historians take that message, populate it into the database. Then you just have a front end that is looking at the database, one point of entry, and you can have it either poll or use WebSockets or whatever you want to do to grab the latest data.
Okay, thanks.
That's, you have another thought, any other thought, Wetha or Chandrika?
No, I'm gonna
no.
agree with you.
Okay.
All right.
I guess one more quick thing then on the same note. So I've, when I'm debugging stuff, I can debug the individual agents fairly well with in PyCharm using the, the script, the whatever start agent or whatever start in PyCharm script. I forget exactly what it's called.
I think it's
But-
PyCharm -launch. But-
Yeah, thank you. That works great. It's having a little, it seems like it's a little trickier trying to do it for the drivers. Is it just, do I, because the drivers all get run through the platform driver, right?
Mhm.
That's
Yep.
the thing that's actually initializing them. So is it, do I need to start the platform driver with the Python launch script?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. And it will allow you to debug to do breakpoints in the individual drivers that you uploaded.
Okay, great.
All right. Thanks.
I think that's all for me for now. Thanks so much for your help with those, sort of fundamental concepts.
No, thanks for
No,
asking.
this has actually been a really fun meeting. I think having the dialogue and having this interaction was really good today.
So Stefan, if you are okay at some point, could you present your application when it's ready and you're comfortable at the office hours?
I'll talk with the people actually running the project, and I assume yes, but I don't want to say anything without talking to everyone else working on the thing first.
Okay, no pressure. We just keep looking for community users to present their work here at office hours.
Yeah, I'm guessing the answer is probably yes, but I don't want to commit to anything.
Okay. Thanks.
Great. Thanks. Yeah, this has been a great office hours. So, all good things to talk about and get recorded as well, I think. So can provide guidance to other people who might have similar questions. All right, well, then thanks everybody. And yeah, just another quick reminder, the quarterly users meeting has been moved to August 4th. And so we will see you in a couple weeks at the next office hours.
What is the quarterly, what is that got moved?
Oh, okay, yeah, you might have joined after that. So in addition to the office hours every 2 weeks, every 3 months, we have a quarterly users meeting, which is basically an extended office hours with more time for presentations of, where the platform is, what's coming up, and presentations by users who have use cases that they're working on.
Okay, thanks.
And let's see, yeah, you're on the Eclipse mailing list, right? Because you got this invite, so
Yeah.
you should. Okay, so then you should get a note about the user meeting, and let me know if you don't.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. All right, thanks everybody.